Hello, hello. This is the Oxford Downtown Diaries for our fourth installment of our podcast.
I love that you called it an installment. We sound so official.
We are official.
We're the dynamic duo, Kimberly Smith, Kelly Westbrook, your DDA directors for Downtown Oxford. I'm so excited about our guest today. And only because
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because every podcast we have, she's like, this is one of my favorite guests that we have. And not that she's not being truthful, because she is, but
I have a lot of favorites.
She has a lot of favorites. So
I do.
It's just cute.
But Heather from Wild and Rooted is joining us today. And Heather is a longtime friend of mine. We went to high school together. She's younger. I'm throwing it out there.
By so much, I hear.
Yes. But just, I was a DDA director when Heather was just purchasing her shop, and just to see where you've been and where you've come to, it's just so exciting. So welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, Heather.
Yes, we're excited to have you. And, the first thing that I want to touch on is just the whole Wild and Rooted concept into the holistic health, because you are in a total rebrand and just went through that. So tell us a little bit about that and the process and what it's like in a rebranding phase as a small business owner.
It's a lot of work.
I bet.
It is. But we really just wanted to make people more aware of the transition in ownership. There was, even though I had bought the business in March of 2020 and had it for about 3 years, there was still a lot of confusion on ownership, what was going on. There was a lot of confusion with our brand, our name, Simple Organics, and another vitamin store on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
So we were getting a lot of calls for this Simple Organic sold on Amazon that was not us.
Oh, okay.
And
Interesting.
A lot of unhappy customers, and then we're like, oh, well, we actually don't sell on Amazon. And I think that company had become a little bit bigger.
Okay.
And they didn't have a phone number on their website for people to call. So there was a lot of confusion. So we rebranded to, set ourselves apart, to really focus on what I was doing as a, practitioner, compared to the previous owner, and to let people know that we were different.
Yeah, I love it. And I love the new name.
Thank
And
you.
when you think about holistic health, I mean, that's such a hot topic.
Yes.
Especially today in the past couple of years. But you really you're very educated in your background, and for holistic health. You were just named #1 nutritionalist in Oakland County, so congratulations.
Thank you.
But tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah. So my background kind of varies quite a bit. Actually, I've worked for, Oakland County Health Department. I have worked for the hospital. So I've worked at Beaumont. I've worked at St. Joe's when I was in nursing school. Worked for a nonprofit for about 8 years before I bought the business. So I've kind of been in a little bit of every area as far as public health. But I have my bachelor's of science from OU in wellness, health promotion, and injury prevention and nutrition. And then my master's is public health from U of M, and I'm finishing my doctorate right now. I'm done with classes, just finishing my dissertation to become a naturopathic doctor.
Wow,
That's
congratulations.
amazing.
Thank you.
That's
Can
amazing.
we talk about all of that with 3 kids? And personally knowing you, your husband travels. You have 3 kids. You have a little one.
I do, yeah. So I had Mackenzie finishing my bachelor's, my last semester. Blake when I was finishing my master's.
Oh my goodness.
And then I just, had Scotty this past year. So I was like, no more kids and no more school.
There you
There you go.
We're
You're done and done. So
Yes.
quick question. You mentioned you purchased the building or the
Yes.
business, I'm sorry,
Yes.
in March of 2020. Let's talk about the timing with that.
That was a rough one, right?
Yeah.
So we started negotiating in November, prior to that. And my husband and I are like, what are the chances there's going to be a crash again? We felt very safe in the business, felt like we were making a good decision, but it was also pretty scary. I came from a, salary, very predictable income, to buy my own business was a big risk for us, but I really wanted to give back to the community. I wanted to be more involved in our kids' lives, working nonprofit. For anyone who knows, you're putting in 40 to 60 hours a week. I didn't have any flexibility in my schedule. So I might work like 45, 50 hours one week. And then if I wanted to leave 15 minutes early to pick up my kid, I had to take 2 hours of PTO. That was just like not driving for a family anymore. So when this opportunity presented itself, it seemed like a no-brainer. It allowed me to do more of what I was passionate about, which was holistic health, doing more of that nutrition education. But yeah, we did not predict COVID happening. That's for sure. So that was hard because like we signed, I think it was like November or March like 3rd or March 5th, and then COVID was like a month later.
Yeah.
Oh my
and a lot of like the grants and all of the support for small businesses or minority women-owned businesses, you had to own your business prior to January 5th of that year.
Okay.
So we didn't even qualify for any of those.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
So,
I did not realize that.
yes, that was hard. So like the employee retention, all of those, we never qualified for any of that.
But you made it through. You
We
did
did.
amazing.
Yeah, we cut back where we could and, really really barreled down for a little bit to make it through.
Yeah. So, and I use a ton of your different product lines. I mean, I think my husband visits you at least once a week. But you have so many other things that are in store. These classes that you're doing.
Yes.
Just tell us about them. What types of classes do you offer? How can people sign up?
So we are trying to get better about marketing, right? Like one woman show sometimes some of our staff don't love social media marketing. So I know we need to be better about promoting them, but we have all of our classes online now. So you can go right to our website, see all of our classes that are coming up, and you can register there. We always have a printout in store. That's the best way to see, what classes are coming up with a sign-up list. We promote it on Facebook and stuff now as well, and social media. But we really are trying to do more nutrition education. That is like my absolute passion, is helping kids learn how to cook nutritious meals and like get excited about trying new foods.
Amen to that.
Yes.
Any mother knows. I mean, we're all sitting here with
Yep.
pretty young kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
It's a challenge for sure.
It's
For
a
sure.
struggle. Yeah. So I taught nutrition education classes for about 8 years before I bought the store. So in Flint and Genesee County, in Detroit, Rochester, all over. So I have like all of that curriculum. The last couple of years I've partnered with Parks and Rec in Oxford, and we've taught like some of the cooking classes in the parks throughout the summer. But we have them more seasonally. Instead of like a 4-week class, we're doing a lot more one-offs. We found that works better for families, especially if like you have a bunch of kids in sports. Like
Right.
it's hard to commit to a 4-week
Sure.
cooking class. But if we do the one-offs, come for 2 hours, learn about black bean tacos and make your own homemade fresh salsa and learn about cooking with the rainbow, all of that. We're also doing more gardening classes, detox classes. I focus a lot on new moms and babies, so I'm a lactation consultant. That's something I'm very, very passionate about, supporting new moms. When I first had Mackenzie, there was not a lot of lactation support in our area. There still really isn't.
Yeah, so you're right, because really it's in the hospital and you're in there for 48 hours and then they send you home. And if you have problems, it's hard to, especially around us, because we don't have any place close.
No, we don't.
in
And what
Oxford.
new mom wants to pack up a newborn
Right.
and drive
None.
an hour
No.
each way to the
Nope.
hospital and then bring a new baby to a hospital full of germs, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just not practical. We need to support moms more. So every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., I have walk-in breastfeeding hours. So
That's
no
amazing.
charge. Any mom, regardless of income, can come and get breastfeeding support. And then obviously we do appointments as well. So I've had several people where they call me. They're like, I just had a baby. I can't get, baby to latch. Can you come over? And, we just come right to their house, meet them where
That's
they're at.
amazing.
That's fantastic. I know when my first was born, that was a challenge that we had, and like trying to find those resources. And we lived down closer to Detroit, so one would imagine that there would be more of that.
Yes.
But it's so hard to find,
It is.
So I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you do mocktails you were talking about.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So we're, it's hard. Parents are stressed, right?
Mhm.
But we found that, just amongst me and my girlfriends, right? Like during COVID and the lockdown, we were having maybe 1 or 2 glasses of wine too many every night, right? Like it was very stressful.
What
and-
else is there to do? I mean, you're locked in your
Yeah.
house with toddlers.
Yes, right? Like survival mode a little bit.
Yep.
But what else can we do for our bodies when we are stressed out? So that's where
Mhm.
like the adrenal adaptogenic mocktails come in. So instead of, you've had a really hard day at work, have a stressful day home alone with the kids, instead of grabbing a glass of wine, you can make yourself an adrenal mocktail full of, ashwagandha or reishi or kava to really calm your nervous system down, get you out of that fight or flight response, and then
I
you're
feel like I need
nourishing
this.
I'm
your body.
listening and
like,
going, well,
tell
what
me
are
more.
your hours today?
Can you come to our office?
Yes. So we just did a mocktail class about a month and a half ago, and it was really fun. So we did 3 different recipes. Everybody got to make their own mocktail. We, talked about the different herbs you can use, like which ones are better if you're on like certain medications you have to be more careful of, which ones are good for throughout the day, which ones are better for at night, and just
And-
having fun making
And
them.
you do consulting. I think you mentioned you're now doing one-on-one consulting with people
Yes.
to talk through those types of
Mhm.
issues, kind of go through an assessment of where they're at and maybe what the best supplements would be, and then be able to provide those for sale at your business.
Yes, absolutely. So we're doing half off consults between now and June. So anyone can make an appointment, get half off, get a little bit of a deal. But yeah, I specialize in autoimmune. I was diagnosed with celiac when I was like 15, 16. And back then, like there was no gluten-free food.
So
right?
true.
Like no one knew what celiac disease was or gluten-free. Luckily,
Right.
that has changed so much now. But if you have a little one, or even if you're 35 and you get diagnosed with celiac or, any autoimmune and need to be gluten free, it can
Mhm.
be overwhelming. So we do grocery shopping tours. Well, we'll go to the grocery store. We'll help you, label read, help you pick out healthier options. We can come to your house and help you go through your pantry to really find out, this brand's not so good.
Yeah.
Maybe you could consider this, or this,
Right.
and really make those small steps to make those really big health changes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I
That's
think-
such a cool option to,
Mhm.
for somebody who's new to that or maybe hasn't been able to have that type of
Mhm.
support in the past, to be
Yes.
able to have somebody kind of walk next to them and say, maybe not the best idea, or these are some things you can think
Mhm.
about that you haven't thought about before. That's so cool.
Agreed. And, I've taken advantage of your service before.
Mhm.
And for me being diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder and a new one,
Yes.
in my later 30s, I was scared that I wouldn't really know.
Later 30s.
Later 30s.
Sorry.
As of last week. But I was unsure of kind of where to start. And it
Mhm.
seemed very overwhelming being
Mhm.
a mom and working full time. And, having to kind of meal prep, but sometimes we are just have to grab and go with
Yes.
sports and things at night. So I was overwhelmed. I think the best part about your services, I didn't feel like I walked out of there and didn't have somebody to turn to after the fact, because I was able to follow up so many times or shoot you a text and just say, hey,
Yeah.
what do you think of this?
Yep.
Where I think a lot of people go and get some kind of consulting service, and that's really all they get, and there's no follow-up from there.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that I've appreciated so much about how you do your consulting and the
Mhm.
support that you give after the fact
Yes.
that you don't get a lot of other places.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Do you have, so I know I've been in your store multiple times, but I'm not proficient on everything
You're
you
good.
offer. Do you have like supplements? I know you have like supplements and powders and
Mhm.
herbs. Do you have like snacks?
Yep, we've got
Okay.
snacks. We've got a lot. We do a lot with like local gyms. So we have, protein powders.
Okay.
We have coffee, organic tea. We are expanding our gluten-free options as well. So in the coming weeks, we'll have a lot more like gluten-free foods, like
Okay.
your pantry staples that normally you'd have to drive all the way down to Whole Foods for. We'll have some
that's
of those.
awesome.
Yes,
That's
we're
fantastic.
also kicking around the idea. We're experimenting on a gluten-free sourdough class as well.
Yes.
That's a tricky
Yes.
one.
Yes. But it would be very cool.
For anyone
Yeah.
who's made gluten-free bread homemade.
Yes, yes.
Not for the faint of heart.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you are from Oxford originally, yes?
yes, yep.
Why did you want to open a business? I know you said you wanted to support the community,
hmm
but why Oxford?
I mean, my husband and I loved growing up here, right? Like our kids go to school here. That's where we met. I've lived next to Kingsbury my entire life up until, I graduated and had my own family and built my own house and everything. But, I love the community. I love the small knit. I love that so many people, right?
Mhm.
Like you really do know everyone. And I feel like everyone watches out for everyone as well, which is just so great. You don't find that many places.
That is true. And
Yeah.
even traveling, it was interesting traveling to Florida last week and just talking to some folks that are more local from there but other people who have transplanted down there. And it makes me come back and appreciate Oxford so much more, even though I don't appreciate our weather. It made me appreciate the hometown and the community because as I was talking with everyone about the traffic and about how far they have to travel for work and things like that, I go, I love to walk into a coffee shop or to come in to see Heather and to actually be able to know those people and say hello to people. And you don't find that a lot of other places, and that friendliness and that warmth.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more time that goes on in the world that we're living in, the more other areas are not finding that too. But Oxford really, I feel like we're in this protected little bubble that, we still have that.
Exactly.
And that does make it a lot better. And even your fellow other business owners.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I feel like you guys are such a close-knit community.
Yes, we really do try to all support each other. I mean, it's so important to support your small businesses, especially like, if you have your PTO coming in and asking for donations for fundraisers and stuff like that. Like, think of those places where you're spending your dollars. Like, that really matters because all your small businesses are giving back to your community. We're putting tax dollars, back into the community. Amazon does not.
Yes. That's so true because one thing I've noticed on Amazon too, and I've read more articles recently, because we used to get a couple of vitamins and things off there. You have to be really careful with vitamins and supplements when you're ordering. So, you do a lot of home deliveries. You have run things out to my car before where I've just pulled up and I didn't want to get my kids out of the back seat. So it really is very convenient to just stop at your location and not order off Amazon.
Yes. So for anyone that doesn't know it, we do free same-day delivery within 10 miles of the store for orders over $50. So if you have sick kids or if you just, are working from home and don't want to run out, you can call, place your order over the phone, and then we bring it to your house same day within 10 miles of the store.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So convenient.
And one of the things also is you're such a trusted resource. We know that you're credible and we know that you're selling high quality products.
Yes.
So knowing that, I mean, that versus who knows what you're getting on Amazon.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of counterfeit. So since COVID, there's been a lot of independent, studies and research stuff that has come out that there are many companies, especially like when you're buying third party on Amazon, that are doing counterfeit items. So they can copy the label almost identical. It's very hard to tell the difference. And it just might be like rice bran in there.
That's kind of scary.
It is very scary.
Yeah,
so like
if you take these things and spend the money on it, you want to
Yes.
make sure that it's good for your body and you're not
and safe.
Yes,
Like you don't want to
especially
for
with
your
kids,
children. Yeah, I was
right?
gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
You don't
like
wanna
the
play
chain of
around.
like how it got to you, right?
Yeah.
So like if Amazon's getting it, are they buying it in bulk and then it's sitting in a warehouse at 120 degrees or 130 degrees over the summer?
Right.
So like when we're ordering product, like I only order probiotics on a Monday or a Tuesday so that I know it'll get to us by Wednesday or Thursday.
and that it's still cold.
And that it's still temperature controlled. It's not sitting at a warehouse or on a delivery truck at 120, 130 degrees over the weekend. Like those are all things that, small businesses buying direct can control. You don't know that when you're buying things on
That's so
Amazon.
true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So also you have been a huge supporter of the DDA. You're wonderful about helping when we need it. You helped to coordinate a couple markets in. So just to clarify, I wanted to say this earlier. For those that don't know, where are you located?
So we are in the White House district right across from Genesis Credit Union. Right on M24 off of Crawford. We're 111 South Washington.
So it's
Perfect.
the south side
South
of our
end.
south end of our district.
Are we still trying to get that going?
Yes,
Yes,
I
yes.
am in total one
I will
day.
support it.
We're
yes.
going to rebrand it as our downtown South End because
End.
I think so many people think that our downtown and our DDA district is really only those like 4 quads
Right,
that are
yes.
that core of downtown where Burdick Cross. And really, our downtown is so much more and so much further down. And there's like 22 businesses right by in the White House district by you. So I don't want people to ever forget about it or think that you guys aren't part of our downtown district.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some great like hair salons,
Mhm.
nail techs. There's a couple massage places, the music
Waxing
lessons.
or sugar, what is it? Sugar scrub?
Yes,
Scrub
sugar
is sugar
scrub.
scrub?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
The stepping stone centers
Mhm.
there. There's the photography. There's quite a few
Yeah.
businesses back there that a lot of people have lived in Oxford 10, 15 years
And
and
they don't know.
don't
They
even
don't
know they're
know.
there.
And
Yeah.
you've been really helpful in getting all of those businesses together to try and promote
Yes.
your area.
Mhm.
We try the best of our ability, but we do have a lot of businesses. And
Yes.
so last year in the fall and the spring, you guys did such a lovely job of getting information out, putting a map together of who's located where. You had an event that was
Mhm.
really successful. So thank you for all of your help with
Yes.
that.
We're doing that again on that note. That's
Oh,
us pulling up my phone real
perfect.
quick.
Yay.
So we're
Do you
doing
guys have a date?
Yes, it is Sunday, May 5th.
Okay.
So it's the weekend before Mother's Day.
Okay.
Nice, perfect timing.
Yep, and we're going to do it from 12 to 6 p.m.
And what are you going to be doing?
So we're going to do another spring market. Yep, so we'll have all local vendors. We'll have a couple food trucks there. We'll have music. And then all of the businesses, there's 22 businesses there, will all have their doors open so everyone can walk through, really get to know all of the business owners there. We'll have raffles, gift baskets, giveaways, all kinds of fun stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I love it.
Be so good. And it's something also for people to come downtown and do because a lot of our businesses are closed on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
this is the perfect space to be in.
And fingers crossed the weather's a little more
Yes.
mild so that we can
Yes.
enjoy the lovely day
Yes,
of spring.
it was great last year around that
Yeah,
time.
it
So
was.
keep our fingers crossed
Yeah.
that it'll be
Yes.
good again.
Definitely.
So thank you for being here. Is there anything else
you.
that you want the community to know, whether it's just about your business, about you guys, or what you offer?
No, just watch for our classes coming up. We're really trying to get the community, more aware of our classes. A lot of them are free, especially like the more educational ones. If you're learning about autoimmune or, thyroid, different things like that, pay attention to our website. We'll have all of our classes listed on there.
Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I mean, just another awesome
I-
business.
Yeah, no, I love these because I feel like I'm still learning about the businesses. So I was telling Heather earlier that, I didn't even know some of the things that were going on in her business. And so it's awesome for me to learn about it so I can help share because well, not so much anymore, but when I first moved to the area, I was part of a mom's organization, a mom's club, and like knowing that there's such a great resource for, the lactation piece of it is huge. And so I'll be sure to share that so that they have that information because it's so critical.
Yeah, agreed. And just to know that, she's here and she's reachable at all times, especially with kids. I just think that that's a big thing. Just to be able to ask somebody who knows and not have to call the doctor every single time. And if you want to
Mhm.
take a more holistic approach, that's just awesome.
Yeah. So what do we have going on? What have
Oh.
you been doing this week, Kelly?
It's been busy. I don't even know at this point. Honestly, we have a lot coming up. I mean, I
Mhm.
know that we've talked about our events quite a bit, but we have a lot of grants that we're filling out to try to get some funding. We're working on some ARPA funding. We have the national conference coming up here in May, and Oxford is being recognized, and we're speaking. We're teaching a class. So that'll be on Washington Square and how we made just that gravel space into an actual place for people to hang out. And then we're really redoing that space. Do
Yeah.
we want to talk a little bit or tease it out maybe?
Yeah, we'll tease it. So it's, evolution, right? We're always trying to grow and continually improve. And so when I joined, it was 22. So that was 2 years ago. And that was just when it went from a gravel lot to more of a space, like an actual space. And so this year in 2024, we are kicking it up a notch and creating quadrants within the quadrant.
That's right. Yes. So, one of the things about that space is we weren't able to, everything was donated, right? So we had these wonderful businesses and sponsors that came alongside
And
of
community
us.
members
And
also.
community members. And it's still owned by Curtis Pagels, and he
Mhm.
is pretty much just letting us utilize that space, but he still owns it. And one of the things that our hope was to host the market, which now coming into year 4, it's been amazing. And you've really taken it off this year. I mean, I'm so excited about the
Yeah.
vendors that are going to be out there this year that you've already booked. Some might call you a market master.
Some might, yes.
I have to give you a hard time about it.
I love it.
But one of the things is that we really wanted to activate it on a daily basis. And to do that, we didn't have the money before to really capitalize on that. But
Mhm.
with the grant that we received from T-Mobile and Consumers Energy, we're going to be able to make over that space a little bit. So things that people can expect are a larger area of like grassy turf where
Mhm.
it's more comfortable to sit and for kids to play,
Mhm.
with some newer, larger games in
Mhm.
there. Some new picnic tables with some new umbrellas, more of a lounge space
Mhm.
where it's people can just kind of sit and chat. That's going to be a little more shaded. We're going to try to add some shade sails. I
Sales.
don't sales,
Sales.
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 I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to see.
We have a lot of ideas we're still tossing around, so
Yeah, our
more to
design
come.
committee is working
Oh,
hard on this. So
fantastic. But I think, we did what we thought made sense 2 years ago, and it worked at the time, and now we're ready to elevate that.
revamp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, we're really excited about it. So more to come on that.
Yes.
What else do we have?
I think honestly, until May, that's really it. I mean, we have a ton that we're working on and
Mhm.
always running our committee meetings are next week. So that's always a really busy week for us. And then our board
Board
meeting the week
meeting.
after, village council meeting this next
Mhm.
week. And I have meetings with Oakland County and our managers meetings for Main Street. So never a dull moment.
Never a dull. I'm trying to think what else we did
Come in
this
and get a
week.
magnet. If you
Yeah.
haven't got a
We
magnet,
have
right?
magnets. Yeah, we're working on a lot of stuff. I mean, getting everything buttoned up.
I'm going to show the magnet.
Oh,
Can we just show
yeah,
it? Because I'm just
definitely.
ultra proud of this.
So excited about the magnet. So this is for all of those that don't want to write it down or print it out. It's all here in one piece that you can have on your refrigerator or something else that's obviously a magnetic.
And all of our wonderful businesses and sponsors, great QR code. But this is everything that's going on June, July, August, September
Yeah.
in downtown Oxford.
And as you can see, there's a lot there, which we're super excited about. I was having a conversation with someone earlier today about how, why are we doing this?
all the events.
Yeah, like why are we adding? We have
Oh
these
my gosh,
great
we already have so
concerts.
much, but
Yeah.
it brings people into town. Where DDA is here for our businesses, here
Mhm.
to make them successful, whether it's events and just showcasing them, even if their doors are not open. People are seeing those locations, they're looking through the windows, seeing their
Mhm.
product lines, because our ultimate goal is to help those downtown Oxford as a whole, but those 100 businesses that are within our district that we truly care about and that we want them to be successful and bring
Mhm.
people through their doors. So when we bring people into town, ultimately, that's what we're doing for our businesses.
Yeah, and so just to add on to that, the additional events that we're creating are to help bring different demographics of people that
Absolutely.
maybe don't want to come and sit through a concert, but would be happy to, grab a social district drink and then play cornhole for a couple hours,
Yes.
or grab a glass of wine and sit behind um, in the courtyard and have a drink, have a cocktail, and just relax for the evening. So
Yes.
we're really excited about these events. And then, do you want to talk about Main Street? I know you talked a little bit about you're going to the national recognition, or is
Well,
it
our National Main Street Conference is
conference?
once a year. This year it's in Alabama. And those are Main Street communities from all over the U.S. So all
Mhm.
50 states are represented there at the conference. One of the neat things is Oakland County actually is one of the only Main Street programs that isn't statewide. And it's because Oakland County is so large and has so many
Mm.
downtowns. So we have 28 just within Oakland County. And we're just one of those 28 within
Mhm.
Oakland County. So we have a great little team that is so supportive for
Yeah.
us, and we're blessed to be in that program. And then there's a lot of statewide
Mhm.
programs that will be there as well.
So the national is in May, and then the Oakland County ceremony or
Oh, our
is
Main
in
Street
June.
Awards,
Yeah.
June,
Yeah,
yeah,
in
June
early
6th, I
June.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that we'll be working on that over the next couple weeks, is submitting our what we've been doing
Yes.
and sharing with Oakland County what we've been working on for the last year.
Yes. Yep.
So that's exciting.
It'll be good.
We have a lot coming up.
And then I think on our next week's show, we have Designs by
We
Chance,
do.
a new business downtown. And our focus there will actually be on how does a small business that is at home based go from one of our markets, our vendor markets, to purchasing a retail location and now being part of a downtown. So I'm excited to
You know
talk to
why?
them.
It's the market master.
It's the market master. It's all you. It's all you. So thank you all
Yeah.
for listening, and we
Yes.
will see you next week.
Bye.